What up, what up? Welcome back to another
hello.
of Let's View It Again. I am Gene.
And I'm Stephanie.
Well, you let me finish introducing you.
Okay, go ahead.
I am Gene, and this is Let's View It Again. To the side of me is my wonderful, beautiful, illustrious co-host, executive producer, Steph.
All right.
Say what's up to the people.
How y'all doing? Here we go. This is episode 2.
This is another episode. We're not going to number them because we just don't know how we're going to drop these things.
Okay.
So this is another episode.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, we'll see another episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's View It Again. I am Gene, and to my side is my wonderful co-host, Steph.
Hey.
How you feeling, Steph?
Feeling good.
You feeling ready for this movie?
Let's go.
Wait, is this something that you were familiar with before?
The movie?
Yeah.
It would come on BET.
That's another black classic.
Yeah. Because they show all of them again and again. So I would, see bits and pieces, but just sitting through it, this might have been the first time I just watched it, beginning to end. Like actually
you had
watched
to do
it.
homework on it.
Huh?
Doesn't that make it a awesome project, having to do homework?
Oh, making notes?
Yeah.
But, it wasn't hard. But a lot of stuff I remember, but it was little stuff, just funny lines or situations I didn't quite remember. So it was a nice view. It was nice to view it again.
All right, folks. Today, if you hadn't read the title of this episode, we're talking about Boomerang. Did you like my boomerang sound effect? Did you know I was about to do that?
I did.
Know you did. Interesting fact. They never say the word boomerang once in this movie.
They don't.
There are no Australians and there are no boomerangs in this movie. So if you were somehow in the dark about the Eddie Murphy classic Boomerang, it is not about indigenous people of Australia. But Steph is going to tell her what it is about. Give them a read, Steph.
All right. Well, this year made the 30th anniversary.
Because it was released in 1992.
July 1.
2022 minus 1992 gives you 30.
July 1, 1992. So not long. About a month ago, it celebrated its 30th anniversary.
We're not dating the episodes.
Huh?
These just exist in a space and time that can't be characterized by numbers.
Well, the fact is it's 30th and it came out in 1992. That's still putting it in space and time, correct? All right. Take your star. All right, this is our synopsis. Well, I am DB. Their synopsis. We have a successful executive and womanizer who finds his lifestyle choices have turned back on him when his new boss, who is a woman, turns out to be an even I was putting those words together. His boss turns out to be hey.
So she will keep me company and I will teach her to be a divinely evil diva as I am.
It may be so for some people, but his boss turns out to be an even bigger deviant than he is. Deviant is a strong word.
It is, because I don't think anything she did in this movie.
But I guess
maybe
anytime
he was a deviant, but I don't think she did any deviant behavior.
Well, it says as deviant.
Oh, okay.
Or even bigger deviant. Maybe that's what throws out, like even
know.
Bigger deviant. I guess
it all depends on what you're believing in.
We'll see.
Some quick facts about the movie. Boomerang, like she said, was released the 4th of July weekend in 1992. It made $131 million on a $42 million budget. Most of that $131 million, interesting, I say not most, but a good portion was international. I did not know that, but that gives you a kind of a look into where Eddie Murphy's status was at the time, because there's not a lot of people that this story would resonate with. An all-black film making $60-something million overseas is crazy. That's like in today's dollars, like $276 million.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's I think it finished 19th that year, 18th that year of 1992, and it had some really big films that year. So, I mean, it's Eddie Murphy, man. He was on the tear.
But that's funny, though. The story, yeah, you see an all-black cast, but the story is... It's a romantic comedy, you know?
Well, I say that because Hollywood cast these things as black stories when it's universal. None of our movies
black
get to be
people are
just
human.
a movie. It's like, oh, would people want to see a movie about an office setting that just so happens to have black people? So
yeah, I get that point,
I don't subscribe to it, but yes, that's how Hollywood sees it.
Yeah, I get that point. And I wonder if his, his fame is what, led to the international audience at this time.
The crossover thing by the time, which I'll get into a little bit. I mean, we couldn't do his whole filmography, obviously, because it's crazy. He came off a crazy decade in the 80s, but yeah, he did crossover stuff with the Beverly Hills Cop and
yeah,
what's my movie? Not Distinguished Gentleman. Trading Places. So he had, and he was on Saturday Night Live. So people know Eddie Murphy. He was not necessarily a black comic. He was, he had the Bill Cosby ish, like he had that going for himself. He was a dirty comic, but he had a large appeal.
I'm still surprised about the international.
When I saw the numbers, I'm like, wow, because it had 131 million listed, but I could only find 70. But then when I switched it to worldwide, and it showed the 60 million that way. But the film is directed by Reginald Hudlin. At this time, he had only done House Party, which is a movie we're definitely going to cover on Let's View It Again, because I love that movie and I have viewed it numerous times. I could do the scenes right now. I don't even need to watch it again. He had only done that at the time, this Reginald Hudlin. He later that year of Boomerang 92, he did Baby's Kids. I know we watched that together a couple times. His other notable films are The Ladies' Man and 2017's Marshall. He didn't do a lot more big movies. He had some stuff here and there. He took over at BET at one point as an exec, but he didn't do a lot more. His brother also directs, so they did some stuff together, and they make an appearance in this movie.
Really?
They're the jewelry people, the dudes that's selling the jewelry on the street. Like the hustle dudes or whatever, they did the same thing in House Party. Remember, they had the.
I have to go back and pay attention.
That's him and his brother.
That's funny.
They insert themselves in the movie for whatever reason. Also, this movie, another movie we reviewed, had a soundtrack that's on the face. Babyface just keeps showing up.
He just keeps showing up.
This soundtrack sold $3 million. So 3 million records and hit number 1 on the top R&B charts, number 4 on the Billboard 200, driven by the smash singles Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night, written for Anita Baker. I don't know if you knew that.
It was written for her originally?
And if you listen to it, it sounds like Anita Baker. Yeah, Babyface wrote it for Anita Baker. She was pregnant. She said, hey, you could try this new girl I heard about. Has a group with her sisters. One of those Braxton girls.
Who recommended Tony?
Anita Baker did.
Oh, that's a cool story.
Yeah. So, and she was virtually unknown at the time. She was she did have to list stuff with her sisters, but so this was her first.
That's interesting.
I know this is what this podcast is about.
Yes, I know.
It's about learning.
Never would have thought to look it up. That's cool.
End of the Road was on this soundtrack, and if you couldn't escape this song in 1992, probably not now. That's End of the Road by Boyz II Men, and I Die Without You by P.M. Dunn, which is a song I like. Is it my time? That's probably all I can sing without getting sued, so we're gonna stop there. The film stars Eddie Murphy. We talked about. I mean, everybody knows Eddie Murphy. He
Everybody's
came off crazy.
in here.
What'd you say?
Everybody's in here.
Yeah, it has everyone in this movie, even in small minor parts. But the stars, the biggest stars, Eddie Murphy, obviously. Like I say, he had a crazy run in the 80s. Coming into the 90s, he had done, maybe he did another Beverly Hills Cop, number 2 maybe. Then after this, he did Distinguished Gentleman. And he had like Vampire in Brooklyn, but that's not a big movie. But the next big thing was Nutty Professor.
Oh.
That was 96. And, that just went crazy. Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
But we can't read all Eddie Murphy film. It's crazy. Robin Givens, Eddie Murphy plays Marcus, the star. Robin Givens plays Jacqueline. Before this, she was in A Rage in Harlem. I think that was her only credit up until that point. That's I don't know if you ever seen that.
I don't think so.
And that's when the the Jamaican cat. That's what they get their pop goes to Weezer because the Weezer go pop.
Pop, go to Weasel.
All right,
Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
All right.
And what is it called again?
A Rage in Harlem. It has Forrest
Okay.
Whitaker, Gregory Hines, Danny Glover
Okay, I have to
Yeah,
go
and
see that
Bill
for the
Duke
first time, I guess.
is directed it, I believe. So
All
there
right.
you go. I'm just dropping knowledge, baby. That's what I do. After this movie, she was the love interest in Blank Man, and then she really didn't do much, probably because of all that Mike Tyson business. You know how they do women who you accuse powerful men. So unfortunately for her, I think her career suffered. She did. I saw a movie credit. It was like, God, I Need a Man. And I was like, what is that? It must be a Tubi movie and I need to. Now, God, send me a man. But anyway.
I don't know that one.
Halle Berry stars as Angela in this movie. Angela, a.k.a. Agatha. She had a couple big roles before this. She was in Jungle Fever, Strictly Business. And after this, I mean, of course, once again, we can't read everything. Her biggest
We know Halle Berry.
achievement, obviously, winning the Academy Award in 2002. Well, I say biggest. That was her second biggest career accomplishment. 7 years after that, Hurricane Chris had a song called Halle Berry. So that would be her greatest accomplishment for Halle Berry.
Where is he today, I wonder?
I think he's a murderer.
Oh.
A lot of minor parts in the movie from Martin Lawrence, David Alan Grier, Chris Rock, Eartha Kitt, Grace Jones, who just kills it. John Witherspoon kills it. Miss Pearly, I think her name is like BB Davis, something like that.
This wasn't my part.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't do all my research. I have Miss Pearly written on my cards. But and they work again numerous times. Lita Rashawn is in the movie.
Yeah.
Tisha Campbell, she does great, and also Melvin Van Peebles. Just odd number of stars in this movie.
A lot of stars.
Yeah. And I probably missed somebody. I can't even remember.
Yeah, now you say it, who knows who we missed in the background.
That was a background character.
Or you got Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock. He had small parts, but
it was still
fleshed
Chris.
out the movie.
Yeah,
so.
you noticed him.
Those are the facts, man.
All
Let's
right.
get into it. Tell these folk about this movie.
Let's get into it. All right, so it opens up. It opens up.
Once again, the Roy Boomerang is never mentioned in this movie. So I just want y'all to throw it. But what is, I know I'm cutting you off. But
yes, you are. Excuse you.
Pardon me. What is in this movie is multiple dog noises. As well as the atomic dog drop. For whatever reason, I don't know, but I guess is he a dog?
He's a dog.
All right then. He's a deviant. A deviant dog.
But we opened up in Act 1. Well, we'll say Act 1, the beginning.
Yeah, we break them down to acts on this show, baby. Professional.
And the first thing I noticed, and like I said, when we were watching it, I don't know if I noticed, there are only black people in this office building. Awesome. But I don't know. Well, I know, I'm pretty sure it was intentional. But I wonder what people during the time thought. They're like, oh, it's just a bunch of black people in suits. And not saying that black people haven't been in suits, but
African American.
We don't get a lot of movies.
Look at my African American there. Where
people are in, I guess you say, executive offices.
And, can I interject?
But it wasn't weird seeing it. Maybe it was in some respect, but it's just something
maybe
I didn't remember.
I'm saying maybe not.
Yeah,
now,
maybe
not
looking
weird,
at these
but
eyes.
in '92 it probably was.
Yeah,
not necessarily weird, but like okay, people were like, yeah.
Would you say suspend some?
You have to suspend disbelief.
Some disbelief.
A huge New York firm with only black. But, I mean, of course it happens, but
we know it was intentional.
I will say, I don't know if you had read a background on it. That they did do it for that reason. And I don't want to step on what you have written.
Go ahead.
But they had, they wanted to make Eddie's character successful without being corny.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you know how usually in a movie when the successful guy is
Uh-huh.
the corny guy. You know the one with all the stuff.
Or trying to appeal to all the white people in the office.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they tried to toe their line, which I think they did fine. Like I said, I don't want to go.
No, it's fine. You don't get that feel from him. You know, that's one of those. It's just, you know, white people or a white male isn't centered.
Yeah.
Or a white character isn't centered in the movie. So I thought that was interesting. Like I said, I know you see it with grown up eyes.
I don't think we ever. Is there any white person that shows up?
I think at some point when they're having a meeting about an ad, I think I saw a white man at the table, but like I don't even know if anybody had a speaking part.
Good.
Unless it was like
reparations.
Unless it was like at one point they had remember they had the I guess a business it wasn't a meeting, a party or something to show the ad that had come together. You know, maybe somebody talked in the background, but I don't remember anyone holding a conversation that wasn't black. So that was cool to me just to...
We need more movies like this. Come back, Eddie Murphy.
Yes, and again, it wasn't corny. It wasn't anyone, quote unquote, trying to be black. It was just like black people just being.
Yeah,
and it wasn't corny in that sense. So we're introduced to the trio, I called them. You got Marcus, like you said, is played by Eddie Murphy, the star. You have the friend Tyler, played by Martin Lawrence.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? Okay. Marcus, of course, is the womanizer. He seems to emerge as the leader of the group. What you think about that?
He's a pack leader.
He's the pack leader.
No.
That was interesting conversation people had on social media at this time. It wasn't too long ago.
What?
It was some Twitter conversation they had about identifying the leader of a friend group or something to that effect, or men. I know it's so many conversations, or someone in the friend group saying they're the leader, and people are like, you don't say you're the leader. People just identify you. It's not something you just take. You know, it was just one of those conversations. I'm sure it'll come back up because we're talking about it.
You've mentioned
they listen to it.
Anyway,
and then you have Martin Lawrence, who plays Tyler. Is he what we would call a hotel? He tries to find he tries to find a racial disparity and everything.
Wish we could have had more of that dynamic.
Of him?
Of all three. We don't get a lot of
a
lot of scenes with them on screen.
With all three of them together. Not for long. I guess you call him very hypersexual. He seems to have.
Yeah, he's that character. Like the typical 80s movie friend who's always talking. Was it basically the same character he played in House Party? Sort of, kind of, in that same vein?
Probably just a few more years on him. Or was House Party before
before this. It was in 92. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of the same character.
He seemed like he was a little older. Yeah. And then you have Gerard, played by the David Allen Greer. I guess all of them are the now. The Eddie Murphy, the Martin Lawrence.
That's a good David Allen Greer. I say back, Jezebel.
All right.
We were in love.
We'll take it. He seems to be the gentleman of the group, and of course
it's played up for laughs, you know.
Yeah, if you're the gentleman, you don't have a love interest.
You ain't a dog.
You're not a dog. He's not hypersexual. He kind of plays the middle.
He didn't get the Twizzard. That's one of my quotes that's coming up.
Okay. But you have that dynamic with this trio, this friendship. You also introduced to Marcus's neighbor, played by Tisha Campbell. I think she does a great job.
Marcus, I know you hear me, you slimy, sleazy, sneaky, slithering son of a bitch.
You want to keep it down? Get ready to have some company, okay?
So who's the victim tonight?
Hey, Vaughn, I don't feel like playing with you, okay? Stop.
It's not the typical role. And at the time, she was in House Party also, but I don't know what else she did, like Broadway or something. But she has range, I guess. She killed it.
Yeah. Tisha Campbell, what was it? My Wife and Kids. She was on there for many seasons. She was the only mother. Well, Martin too.
You know what I'm saying? That's what she was.
But later on, she's still funny in My Wife and Kids. She holds herself.
Good to me.
Yeah. And so she's one of the women he apparently dated and I guess just dropped, and she's
Pump and
not
dump
happy.
scheme.
That's another way to put it. She's not happy about it. Every time Marcus brings a woman over, she's commenting or telling the woman to leave, or telling them it's not a good idea.
That sign like "Go home, girl." It's just so ridiculous.
That she had signs ready.
It's so ridiculous, but
she plays her part so well. It's not overdone. It was funny, but it's not overdone.
She didn't get on your nerves.
Yeah, but she pops up right on time to offer some relief. And so Marcus, basically he's that typical womanizer. You have the scene where he buys a dog so that he can pretend.
No, he buys a leash.
Oh, it was just a leash? Well, that's even worse. He buys the leash after he sees a woman he's interested in, Leela Rashawn. Very popular too also. And he pretends that he has lost his dog to get her attention.
Brewing here.
That's the first woman, I believe, that he's that we see him have an interest in the movie, and we know that doesn't go well because her toenails.
He's superficial. They play up that he's not only a dog, he is
a superficial dog.
Yeah.
So her toenails weren't good enough. And so we kind of just see what type of character he is, or man, out the gate. He's a womanizer. He'll do whatever you got to do to get you.
And they spend a lot of time setting that up. That is one of my complaints. But I guess we'll get into that after we wrap up at the end.
They do spend a lot of time showing that he's not good for a woman who wants to be in a relationship, a committed monogamous relationship. I would say.
Why did you speak all softly?
I don't know. It just happened. Let it happen. All right. We got Lady Eloise, played by the icon, the legend, Eartha Kitt.
Marcus.
Yes.
I'm just doing, as I'm on my impressions today. I'm
all the sound effects.
That's what the show's about, baby.
And
entertainment.
She is a client of the, I guess it's advertising firm.
Yes.
That Marcus is a part of, and we have some quid pro quo going on with her.
Scratch my something and I scratch something else. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink. He trying to sleep his way to the top. Little does he know, it doesn't work.
That she doesn't have any power in the company, so it's all for naught.
It's all for naught.
And then finally, we get introduced to Jacqueline, played by Robin Givens, who becomes Marcus's new boss. And we also get introduced to Angela. Halle Berry plays her. Of course, as the synopsis says, or it kind of gives a hint to, Marcus is more interested in Jacqueline than Jacqueline is interested in Marcus. And so, he starts trying to go into those old patterns, trying to get her attention. He thinks he has her locked in. Like I said, you have Angela with Halle Berry, who from the gate you could tell, has a thing for him, it seems.
I would beg to differ.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I think they tried to toe the line. So, I guess it's there with her being, with Gerard. And I don't want to skip ahead.
No, you're good.
Being introduced to Gerard, Marcus's friend.
Uh-huh.
But the one point that I find utterly ridiculous is how in movies you have to have the attractive character as well as the frumpy friend. And to make Halle Berry, with her perfect teeth, the frumpy friend, like they tried to so hard to nobody really wants Angela. Because, Jack is just kind of like, whatever. And then it's like, hey man, you should get with my friend Gerard. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's Halle Berry. Hurricane Chris has a song called Halle Berry. Let's be serious here. She can't be the frumpy friend. They dressed her down. She had
she
cross-color hat
the
on.
Artsy.
So
she didn't wear anything.
It's always hilarious in
fitting.
movies when they do that. It's like,
So you think the role should have been switched?
Not necessarily. It was just, it's funny that they tried to put that archetype on her where it's like she's going to be she's the undesirable, and then he comes to love her eventually. It's like she's Halle Berry. She wasn't.
Do you think that it? I guess when you were younger, when you viewed it, or is this you looking as an adult man?
Maybe so. Maybe.
Did you think about it when you were younger? You know,
probably not. I mean, what was I doing in 1992? I became a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'm just saying.
Well, even when I saw it, even not now, but years after when I was a teenager or whatever. Yeah, I still like.
Because at this point, you knew who Halle Berry
was. Even if she
was.
At that time. Like I said, I was young, but I know people was, like, oh man, everybody said Halle Berry as not the punchline, but that was the end of the hot woman. It's like, oh, I want you to be like Halle Berry, haircut like Halle, like a joke or something at the time, as you remember. So she wasn't not known to be an attractive woman. So it's funny that they try to, but they do it in movies. They do it like they did it on, like New Girl or something. With Zoe Deschanel, when she with the bangs, she like, who is this crazy girl? When she takes off her glasses and pulls her hair back, she's like, what was there all the time?
And what was that?
I think that the New Girl, it's a TV show. But when characters dress up and or they remove they take the glasses off and they take those braces off and get the makeover. And it's like, what? Where was that hot girl all these years? It's like it's the same person. You just cut her hair.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
But
like I said, this is somebody with. It's odd. It's a trope, obviously, and it just doesn't. It never lands in any movie. This one, notwithstanding.
You don't think so? But they put her in the the baggier clothes. Well, you were still talking about Angela. But that's
talking about
Angela. They put her in the baggier clothes. She's the artsy person. She's a painter. Teaches kids. She teaches kids art too, but yeah, that's who we get her. She's kind of soft spoken. She's not I guess you could say high in the company. It kind of seems like she's an entry.
Is she an intern or something?
I don't know if she's an intern, but she's not a Jacqueline. She's not an executive. She's not a Marcus. It seems like she's part of the team, but she's not at the top, basically. Gotcha. So she plays that role. But she does, as you said, end up for some reason. I don't know, being interested in Marcus. I don't know.
We don't get why she would be.
I don't. Maybe it's just the flair. I don't know. He didn't do anything in particular.
Everybody love a good dog.
Guess he was charming to her.
It was the Star Trek, but we'll get to that. I'm skipping ahead.
You go ahead. What you got?
Are you finished with your portion?
I believe so. We have what? Strange, played by Grace Jones,
who does a phenomenal job. Where's Grace Jones from? Because she kept speaking different languages. Is she French or something? Is that French?
No, I want to say I'm not sure exactly where from.
I know Eartha Kitt is not, but she has.
I want to say
is she from Alabama or something?
Maybe so. I mean, the South. It sounds, who probably so. Eartha sounds like a Southern name. I want to say that Grace Jones, is it Bishop or Apostle? It is Bishop Noel Jones. I'm not sure if they're from the Caribbean or from.
That can make sense if she speaks French.
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I believe her brother is a bishop, in the Christian church. And I believe it's Bishop Noel Jones. I have to look that up, but I want to say
we don't fact check on this show.
Well, we didn't fact check. I didn't fact check that one, but I want to find out for myself.
Because we can just claim it. It's true.
But maybe so.
Her brother is Bishop Noel Jones.
I want to say
the first.
But I guess y'all can look that up and see who her siblings are. Don't know.
We're trustworthy.
No, never take us at our word. I always research it. But yeah, she does play it well. Very eccentric character. Very over the top. They eventually have
easily the best character in the movie.
You think so?
Besides John Witherspoon, but
just by adhering to the point of her character. Strange, that's strange with an accent mark.
Is that what they call an accent mark?
Huh?
That's what you call those?
That's what I thought it is. What is it?
I don't know.
But
We didn't learn
Strange.
that in school. So apostrophe, as far as I know, that's out of place.
But yeah, she's very eccentric, and her and Eartha Kitt are like the two main accounts that they're working on in this movie.
Basically.
But I mean, I don't know what else to say about her character.
No, and that's part of they spend a lot of time in this first section of the movie doing a lot of nothing really. I mean, it's played up for laughs and kind of like look at this strange person, but nothing really.
Because she has a lot of her and Eartha Kitt, I would say, have a lot of screen time.
They do.
But
for ancillary characters,
not really essential to the main storyline.
They do a good job. So
yeah, they play their parts well.
The first hour floats by, you don't notice it. Then you're like, man, I've been watching this for an hour.
Which is what we were saying, that they spend a lot of time, like you say, showing that Marcus, I guess, is no good. Apparently, this is supposed to be a fling, him and Jacqueline. In the end, it plays out like the relationship wasn't, if you even want to call it a relationship, it wasn't that long. It was more like a fling or a few flings. But that is so much of the movie, you know?
It's the first half.
Yeah, like you said, an hour, because it's about 2 hours, huh?
It's 2 hours, and the first hour and
maybe
change
15
is them
going back and forth.
Well, he spends, like you say, working on accounts and stuff, and then it's, hey, will they, won't they? And then we finally get some kind of, I guess, not necessarily drama, but the conflict kicks in. And that's, I mean, if you want me to take over here.
Go ahead.
Stepping on your toes.
Not at all.
Marcus and Jacqueline, it doesn't work out, their little fling. Jacqueline out Marcus. She's the top dog and was kind of played up as, powerful woman, has no feeling. What's the female term? I mean, it's the B word, I guess, because she's not a, she got that dog in her too?
I mean, I guess so.
Okay, she got that dog in her
what's
too.
the dog sound? What they say? You hear that a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's the
female equivalent. Deviant. I think that's what your card
that's
said.
what IMDb said.
But yeah, she pulls a Marcus on Marcus and leaves him high and dry. They have the real cool scene when they do break it off. The lights go off on the, I guess it's the Empire State. I don't know. I'm not from New York, but the building behind them is like, ooh, wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's like this is the end of an act. So that's why I pick up Marcus. After their little breakup, he comes in the office all sad, walking sad. And all the ladies who previously loved him at the beginning of the movie, they happy, just bubbling with excitement that he,
somebody got
those
Marcus.
tables have turned. Buddy.
Which makes you wonder, I know they don't tell it, but, has he been around the office?
I mean, I guess so. They were clawing at him at the beginning.
They seem really invested in him falling.
As did Chris Rock, but that's whatever.
Yes.
This is when you first get a real feeling that the frumpy friend, Halle Berry, is a real possibility because he starts, they go on little walks and it's only friend, like I said, it's friendly because he has hooked Angela, aka Agatha, up with David Allen Greer's character, and he, I guess he's too timid for whatever. It doesn't work out with them two, so Marcus kind of backdoors him. It's trashy, you know what I mean? But after the hilarious Thanksgiving dinner scene with John Witherspoon and Miss Pearl and Martin and all the assorted characters, Marcus and Angela, they make sweet love. We assume we don't see it on screen, but it's implied. All because of Star Trek. Their love for Star Trek.
It brings them together. And then we lose someone? Oh. Yeah,
I don't know. I never watched the show, but rest in peace,
me.
Black lady that was on Star Trek, the only one I'm sure. Their relationship or their burgeoning relationship obviously drives a wedge between Marcus and Gerard, because Marcus, for the last time, is a dog. Gerard doesn't like that. He thinks
she deserves better.
Angela is a good girl. Marcus going blah, blah, blah. You going to do this, do that. You don't deserve her. But as much as Marcus feels for Angela, he still has feelings for Jackie. He's trying to explore those feelings during this whole part of the movie. And he doesn't go back and hook up with her, but he expresses to Angela, Halle Berry's character, that he has these feelings. He doesn't really know what's going on. Halle Berry's like, nigga, what are you talking about? And she gives the one of my favorite quotes of the movie. I know everybody's favorite quote of the movie, that he obviously couldn't love her because love would have brought his donkey home last night.
He doesn't love himself. And she tell him, you don't love me. You don't
You
love
don't
Jacqueline.
love nobody. You don't
love
love me.
yourself.
Didn't you just hear me say I was sorry?
I heard you say you're sorry. You're sorry and you're tired. You don't love me. You don't love Jacqueline. You only love your damn self.
She was acting. And that wraps up their portion. If you want to take over from here and bring us on in, because we're rounding out 30 minutes, man. These people tired talking about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is
Longest
pretty
movie.
much the end. Well, you have Marcus and Gerard who reconcile.
They do.
It just takes a meeting at Tyler, played by Martin Lawrence's house.
Fried chicken.
Yes.
Or fish. I think it was chicken, though.
It was something. They make up on the rooftop.
And it's a cheap scene because the lights come back on the building behind them, and it's like, we're going to use this again. It's like, okay, all right.
What do you think? Do you think that would actually happen that easily between men?
Now when you got a pack leader.
No.
Is that what we were talking about?
No, because he and Angela weren't in a relationship, and he kept saying, they were just platonic, and
he didn't get the Twizzard.
Okay. And so neither one of them recognized it as a romantic relationship.
So you're asking me if this situation?
Do you think this would happen? Like they would be reconciled this quickly I know it's a movie, but it's like.
Possibly.
You think so? Because
he said they knew each other their whole life, so it's like, okay,
Gotcha.
dog, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. On to the next one. Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Halle
So apparently they just needed to be brought into the same room.
Chicken.
And then they would reconcile. Martin Lawrence's character Tyler makes the comment that they don't do anything together, which. Again, I wish they had shown that conflict.
They had an hour.
They like you said, they spent so much on the front end. There were other dynamics or other relationships. I feel like they could have gave more, like the conflict with them. When he made that line, we don't even do things together anymore. I wish I could have seen that. Because Martin Lawrence's character was, very funny. Just trying to get them back together. I think that would have been funny. I would have liked to see his character try to get his two buddies together. I think that would have been really funny, just based on what his character was in the movie. Of course. Angela takes Marcus back. Marcus. And it was just like there were
no
quick.
consequences to any actions.
Yes, it was just like he came in the office. At this point, her dress has changed. She's no longer the frumpy artist.
No more,
she has on a nice black dress. She's made it seems.
Black
and
dress.
He's just basically like, I love you.
And put on those high heels.
Basically he's just like, I love you. And then, she takes him
how
back.
things be. I'm a dog. I was a dog when you met me.
And then
I got a human upper sky, but my face is a doggy.
They end the movie with them walking down the street and talking arm in arm.
They wrapped it up quickly. They had somewhere to be.
One final joke, and then it kind of just fades.
It just goes
to the
off.
credits.
We don't have any semblance of rising action. Like he goes, he pouts for a little bit, and then he said, "I'm gonna get my lady back," and he uses kids as a trap.
Oh yeah, he did use the students that she teaches to get her attention in the office.
Once again, lies and deceit get you everything in life, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
so, hey, man.
The ending is kind of lackluster. Like you said, I think they could have spent more time on other parts than just setting up his obsession with Jacqueline. Like, we get it. You really liked her. We got it for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Whole lot of time.
It was a whole lot
of time.
And
everything.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what are we doing here? But you don't notice it when you're watching it. So I say all that to say, your impression of it on rewatch is... you don't have to give it a score or nothing official, but if you want to, I guess.
I guess besides it being an all-black cast, like we said, it's your typical romantic comedy. You got the guy at the center that doesn't know what he wants, or thinks he wants to be, I guess you say player type, whatever you want to call it. And in the end, he finds out that that's not really what he wants,
and he still gets the girl.
So, in typical fashion,
it's written by a man. What can you expect?
He ends up with the girl.
We are gonna make ourselves the heroes every time.
But
I know if I wrote a movie, I'm gonna be the hero.
Still funny.
And
I know you have some quotes, I believe.
Oh, my favorite. You don't have any favorite quotes? Nothing. Well, it's not necessarily a favorite quote, but Chris Rock drops a quote that became, it's not infamous, but definitely well known in the black community via Jay-Z when he, when Marcus gets dumped by Jack, he comes in the office moping and whatnot, and Chris Rock, is like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, first the Fat Boys break up and now this. Jay-Z put that in a rap song.
Man. First the Fat Boys break up, now this. It's nothing to believe in.
And everybody says it. I don't know if they know it came from Boomerang, but there's that. Love should have brought your ass home last night.
That's one of your favorite. I
mean, it's everybody. I mean, Tony Braxton made the song.
It's
minus
the whole
ass
song.
Part. And also, of course, you ain't hit the Twizzot.
Angela and I are just trying to get to know each other on a platonic level, all right? Oh, okay. So in other words, you ain't hit the Twizzot. Not a drop.
That is delivered by Martin Lawrence in one of the better scenes with all the guys on screen at the same time. Because David Allegria is hilarious in that scene when he's on the rowing machine. He's getting mad because Martin is messing with him, and it's just his facial. It's David Allegria. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scene. The Thanksgiving scene is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
With Gerard's father and mother,
John Witherspoon. Once again, there's something that enters
John Witherspoon
with two E's.
Like I said, it's a lot of these in here.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's John Witherspoon.
I know.
He steals the scene, steals the show. I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
every scene
he has the most quotable portion of the movie, and like that's again just something that entered, popular culture at that moment.
Say it
Every
today.
Coordinate the bang bang. All that just became, synonymous with him, obviously. But people just started using it at their own. You know how people steal. So that's my favorite quotes, favorite scenes. I also love the scene with the kids. They are hilarious. The cute little girl and little boy of Parenthood. I don't know their names.
For Angela's art class. Yeah.
Students have an art demo and
they
have
play
a cute little scene. But yeah, it's a dope movie for the times. I don't know if it necessarily ages well. It's nothing really problematic about it. It's just, like I say, the woman boss is, only because she's doing the man things. Look at her. She's evil because you want to feel bad for her and feel good. They try to make you feel good for Marcus. And it's like, he has no redeeming qualities. Why should I feel good about him? So it does that. And I know movies aren't meant to be, fix the problems of society. You only kind of hold a mirror up type of deal. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's written by a man. We get their point of view.
It's still the typical romantic comedy.
Yeah, and for all the stuff that Halle Berry, called him on, she still ended up with him. So there was, like I said, there was no consequences.
He did nothing
there was nothing
but
that
bring
had
the
gravity.
kids in there.
Yeah, it was, so for that point, funny. I mean, if I don't necessarily say it flounders or it fails at the point. It's typical movie stuff. So it's nothing bad or good about it. It looks good. Awesome soundtrack. Once again, Babyface, how can you go wrong with Babyface doing the music? It's a dope movie for 92, man. So
30 years later, we're watching.
Hadn't seen it, watch it, watch it with 1992 eyes, I guess. You have to take everything in the time period that was done. But nice movie. I'm glad we reviewed it together. I'm glad we viewed it again. But that's it for us, man. Peace out.
All right, y'all. Peace out.